Tonight, we're diving headfirst into the world of birth certificates. Stay with me, folks, it's more interesting than it sounds. When a wee one pops up in New Zealand, it's not just about cute baby photos and sleepless nights. Oh no, it's also about paperwork, mountains of it, and not the kind you just use for a bit of origami. We're talking documents with long names and even longer implications. You see, from the moment a child enters the world, the government starts keeping tabs. Now, some might say that's just what governments do, like pigeons flocking to breadcrumbs. But these documents aren't just about recording a name and birthday. They're about something bigger, control. And maybe, just maybe, a little bit strawman-y. Don't worry, I will explain it all. First up, we've got the Guthrie card. Sounds adorable, right? Like something you'd find in a Hallmark store. But hold your horses, this ain't your grandma's greeting card. This little piece of cardboard holds a spot for a newborn's blood sample, taken just days after birth. They say it's to test for rare diseases, which, fair enough, nobody wants a sick bub. But the reality is that this card's got a secret. It's the first step in creating a trust, with the baby as the beneficiary. Now, trusts aren't just for fancy lads with monocles and offshore bank accounts. They're legal entities that hold assets, and someone manages those assets for someone else's benefit. So is the Guthrie card the key to unlocking a secret baby trust fund? A drop of blood, a lifetime of potential benefits? But who gets the benefits? And speaking of paperwork, let's move on to the next document in the Kiwi birth certificate saga. Next up, we've got the Notice of Live Birth, also known as the RG9. Catchy, right? This is the document that officially says, hey world, there's a new kid on the block. It's got all the important deets, the baby's name, their birth date, where they popped out, and who their parents are. Now you might be thinking, this all seems pretty standard, and you wouldn't be wrong. But here's the thing, this document isn't just for the family photo album. It's the government's way of saying, welcome to the world, little one. Now you're in the system. It's like joining a club, but instead of getting a cool secret handshake, you get a tax file number. And lurking just around the corner is the mysterious RG27. Section 4, RG27. Unwittingly handing over the reins. Now, the RG27 is where things get a little bit conspiracy theory-ish. By signing this document, parents are unknowingly making their child a ward of the state. That's right, giving the government legal guardianship over their little bundle of joy. They say it's all because of a sneaky little clause hidden in the fine print that most people wouldn't even notice. Of course, the government denies this, claiming the RG27 is simply about making sure kids are cared for. But as they say, where there's smoke, there's fire. Or at least a whole lot of confusing paperwork. So is the RG27 a harmless form or a sinister tool for government control? And just when you thought it couldn't get any more complicated, we introduce you to the Manifest of Birth. Section 5, the Manifest of Birth. Where does the state fit in? Now, the Manifest of Birth. This document, it's like the VIP guest list for the government's party. It's the official record of the birth held by the Registrar General. You see, there's no father's name on the Manifest of Birth. The state steps in as the default dad. Sounds crazy, right? But it's true. Your child now becomes a ward of state. But hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to unveil the granddaddy of them all, the document that ties everything together, the birth certificate. Section 6, the birth certificate. A document, a strawman, and you. Ah, the birth certificate, the piece de resistance of bureaucratic paperwork. It's what proves you exist, what you need for a passport to enroll in school, to basically do anything in this crazy world. But is it just a simple piece of paper? It is your strawman. It suggests that the government creates a separate legal entity for each person at birth, using their name in all caps. This strawman is then used to conduct business and incur debt. Well, here's where it gets interesting. The birth certificate, with its capitalized name, is seen as the document that brings this strawman to life. And by using your legal name, you're essentially agreeing to be bound by the rules of this system. Your trust is created, sold to the Reserve Bank, whom then sells it on the stock exchange. You are now a registered security, aka stock. For more info, follow my YouTube channel and check out my other videos.